Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most powerful enchanters in League, Milio. If you're looking to climb ranked or just want to get better with Milio, this is the guide for you. We'll go over his abilities, best team comps, counters, aggressive versus defensive play, runes, item builds, and how he scales into the late game. This isn't just a basic breakdown, we're going in depth, so you can truly master Milio and start winning even more games. Please keep in mind that these are my personal thoughts on the champion and how I play him. So if you have any thoughts, concerns, or just all out disagree with me, feel free to leave that in the comments down below. Let's get into it. Let's start with the basic, Milio's abilities and how to use them. We're going to start off with the passive, Fired Up. Every time Milio shields or heals an ally, their next auto attack deals bonus magic damage and applies a burn effect. Think of it as a mini red buff. Keep in mind that the passive also works with Q, so if you throw out your Q and it hits an ally, your passive will proc. So it is not just your shields and healing that activates the passive. Speaking of the Q, Ultra Mega Fire Kick, or Q, simple, is a skill shot. Milio kicks a fireball, knocking back the first enemy hit, then it bounces and slows the next enemy. Best uses, in my opinion, would be for disengage. You can use it to knock back divers like Skarner, Irelia, or Lee Sin. You can use it as a zoning tool as well. You can use it to force enemies out of position before fights. Real nice, real easy. And as gank setup. If your jungler is coming, using Q to knock your enemies into the jungler can secure an easy kill. W. Cozy Campfire. AoE heal and a range buff. Milio drops a campfire that heals allies over time and increases their attack range while inside. So this works out really well because it turns short range ADCs into long range missiles. It's a 20% extra range at max level, so it does make a huge difference for those short-ranged ADCs. It can be repositioned, so you can move it to your front line, then to your back line, and back to your front line, depending on what you need in that fight. Warm Hugs, E, is a shield and a movement speed. It's simple but effective, gives an ally a shield and a speed boost. Spammable in fights, so keep casting it on whoever needs it most. Great against assassins like Zed, Talon, Evelyn, for example. You have 2 charges, so you can use it on your ADC and a tank if needed. Or you can just stack it on one target for a massive shield. The ultimate, Breath of Life. It's a massive AoE cleanse and a heal. The most game-changing Enchanter ultimate in the game. It removes all crowd control from allies like a team-wide Mikhail's Blessing, and heals everyone inside the radius. Just know that it does not work on airborne targets, so that 1 in 7 Yasuo will still kill most of your team if he gets that knock-up and ult. But it does counter Malzahar, Amumu, Lissandra, Ashe, Leona, all of those ultimates just go completely out the window once you press that R button. Just make sure that you don't waste it. Wait until that Amumu ults before you say, nope, not today, just press R and your team is free. Best team comps for Milio. Milio shines with hyper carry ADCs and auto attack reliant champions. So if your ADC goes Jinx, Sari, Aphelios, it's gonna be really strong. You're gonna have that extra attack range, shields. On Sari, you're gonna get more mobility, healing makes her a nightmare to kill, so nobody's gonna be able to get her. Aphelios gets insane value from the bonus range. Jinx, it's just going to be a menace. And if you want to pair it with a good mid and a jungler, Yasuo Yone, pretty much the same champion. The passive makes their crits even deadlier. For Hecarim, movement speed boost keeps him zooming. Set and Talon, shields plus speed lets them escape and engage so easily. Now let's talk about a few weaknesses. Hard engaged supports are going to be a tough matchup. So if you're up against a Leona, Nautilus, or Thresh, it's going to be a hard laning phase. Because Leona has a lot of gap closers and stuns, so she's going to make Milio's life extremely difficult pre-level 6. Same with Nautilus. His Q makes it hard to escape, even with shields. And Thresh with that hook flay just denies all of that movement speed that you give to your allies with your shields. What I would recommend in those matchups is positioning. I would highly recommend you stay 1 or 2 steps behind your ADC and try your best to stand out of hook range. Save Q to interrupt their all-ins and use your ult at the perfect time. Don't panic and use it too early, otherwise everybody's gonna ping you with question marks and flame you until the end of the day. The runes that I run on Milio are fairly simple. You can use Summon Airy or Arcane Comet. Airy for more healing and a bit of poke. Comet for that massive damage boost with your Q. Very situational. I would highly recommend Airy first, and Arcane is just for those of you that want to be a bit more annoying. You're gonna go Mana Flow Band. It just helps with mana in general. Or you could also go Axiom Arcanist for that bonus ult cooldown and healing power. Ascendance is just going to be basic ability haste, but it can be swapped for absolute focus since you are not taking any damage and you're not going to be in the front line, so you're not tanking at all. We're going to finish off the sorcery with Scorch for early lane dominance, but it can be swapped for Gathering Storm, but it's not recommended. Secondary, you're just going to go Bone Plating and Revitalize. Fairly simple, very basic. My go-to items on Milio are going to be 1. Echoes of Helia. It is really strong since you get proc the passive of that item just with 1 auto attack and if you W an ally. So it's going to be bouncing to them, going to be damaging, healing a lot more. It's super OP. Shirelia's is going to be really strong because we really want it for that sweet movement speed. Ardent Sensor is going to boost your ADC's attack speed and empower autos. Redemption, big AoE, amazing for team fights that you're just out of range for. I usually go Ionia boots, but that can be swapped out if you think you need anything else. Then of course you go Dreammaker for the support item because healing, of course. You do have the option of going Michael's Blessing just in case the enemy team has too much CC for your ult to handle, or just for that extra little bit of shielding and survivability, you can go Locket. Now let's compare early game to late game strengths. In the early game, your biggest weakness is the laning phase if the enemy has hard engage. So save your Q, don't use it for poke. Allow your ADC to take care of all of that poke damage. You can shield them, give them a little bit of extra burn damage, kind of like a red buff. But keep that Q steady just in case you need it to get out of a sticky situation. I would highly recommend during the laning phase that you focus on poke and shielding. Never take it all in. That's just going to end up with you dead, your ADZ dead, and an FF at 15. Play safe and scale into mid to late game. Fairly simple. You do want your ult before you get into heavy skirmishes, so just be safe for the level 1 through 5. In the late game, one of the best team fighting supports is Milio, because you do have that shield, heal, knockback. You're going to be able to shield everybody that you want. CC from the enemy team? Oh no, press R. Your team is free. They can run around as much as they want. So You're going to be really strong in every situation that you are needed in. And you can turn the team fights completely with just that one press of an R. So keep that in mind anytime you go into a fight. Don't use it too early. Nobody likes that. To end things off, Milio is one of the strongest enchanters in my opinion right now. If you love peeling for your ADC, turning fights, and being the ultimate team player, he is your perfect pick. Who is your favorite ADC to play with Milio? Or who is your favorite ADC to get when you are playing Milio? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the guide, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more League content. And until next time, good luck in your solo queue games.